Michael HOHL Subaru. It's good to see you, man.
Good to see you, Tom.
I know we've been talking about it. I'm like, you got to get in. Let's talk about Subarus. Let's see what's going on.
Yep.
So hey, I want to first thank you for the $50 gift certificates off a vehicle. Can you use it for something else?
Well, of course. And I about fell out of my chair when I watched you say that. That's pretty funny, $50. If the public up here at South Lake comes down and sees me, I take a couple $1,000s off a car easy.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll show you what I can do. I'm here to make friends with South Lake.
And that was the, I think, I mean, with all joking aside, that was the idea of you giving the $50 gift cert. Come in.
Yeah.
I mean, and you would put that electric starter that I was just talking about with Howard. You'd put one of those in, huh?
Yeah, we do that. They're about $200, depends on the model.
Sure.
You can't do it on manual drive or a manual transmission, but everything else, it's nice.
It's a great feature, man. You know, you just have to remember to turn the heat on, like when you stop at the end of the day for the next morning.
So I switch mine between heat and defrost,
right?
And then put the wipers up so it's not beating itself to death on the ice.
Great. I mean, it's one of those until you. It's almost like, I don't know if you mountain bike, but that seat post that has a button you can raise and lower. You know, you don't think much of it till you get it and you go, man, I don't know how I lived without it.
Yeah.
What's hot going on at Subaru? Like what's
well,
the
we got
car?
we got some really cool models. We have the new Ascent, which is 7-passenger or 8-passenger. That's the big one.
That's a van type?
No, it's still kind of like the SUV, you know.
Okay.
Subaru doesn't really do a van, but and the new Forester, really cool.
Really popular.
Yeah.
Huh?
Oh, they're flying.
And what about for, like, you know, the lifties, the ski bums up here? I mean, you guys do used cars too?
Outback. Oh, my used cars is outstanding. So I've been doing used cars about 20 years, and I've been up here in the lake for 5. All my stuff's all-wheel drive or 4-wheel drive, Toyotas, Subarus. You know, I don't put junk on my lot.
But I mean, Subarus, I mean, how many miles can you get out of a Subaru? I feel like you see these old ones that people, they're like, I can't get the money for it that it's worth because it still runs great.
I know. I get 200,000-300,000 mile Subarus all the time, and the people, they won't pry their fingers off the steering wheel.
Right.
It's like, oh no, I'm not trading that in. I'm
That's
going
what
to
I'm
save.
saying.
I'm going to save that.
Totally.
It's like, save it.
But that, I think, to me, that speaks volume for how badass. I got a buddy, my neighbor across the street has one, and he has like 200 and some thousand miles. He's like, I can't sell it because it just runs great.
You can't replace it for the same price point, you know.
Right.
And Subaru owners are really, really loyal. They trade one Subaru for another Subaru for another Subaru.
Yeah.
There's fathers that come in and they're buying one for their daughter, and mom drives one, dad drives one.
See that.
I mean, you see families of 3, 4. That's who I want. I mean, we'll take care of those guys across the board for sales, parts, service, whatever.
Yeah. What's like a low price point for a used Subaru on your lot right now? Like how?
If it's a decent car, which is all I keep, I don't keep somebody else's problem.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
So if it comes in and has a problem, I wholesale that. I don't keep it on a lot. But about 10,000 is about the starting price.
You get a good vehicle for that.
And if the more you spend, the better you get.
How do you know? I mean, like, so you're the manager. A car comes in. It maybe looks fine. What do you do? Do you send it through the service department, and he comes back and says, Jeff, we don't want this one?
So I have a bunch of master tech mechanics trained by Subaru, so they go through the systems like crazy, and they say, Jeff, this has a problem, or it's going to have a problem.
Right.
They see stuff coming, and they say, we should get rid of this, because it does me no good to sell a problem car, because you're going to tell a friend, and they tell a friend, and they tell a friend.
Sure.
And you see those at these little pot lots. So those guys come and they buy cars from me.
Right.
And so they buy the stuff I don't want. I'm going to go wholesale. They buy 2 or 3 of those, put it on their lot, and the next time I see it, the guy's coming into the shop saying I got transmission problems. Well, it's something that I should have wholesaled, you know, and then the guy that bought it put it on his lot and didn't fix it.
Right.
So,
and is it helpful for you? Or is it tougher on you that now we have like the internet where people can look up and see like what a vehicle costs, or that, hey, I see in Indiana I get this same vehicle. Does that help you or hurt you?
You know, it's a double-edged sword. So a lot of times it helps. The intelligent buyer is easier to deal with than the absolute person that has their head buried in the sand.
Right.
And no offense, but I have people come in, they're looking at $40,000, $50,000 cars, and then they tell me they want to be $200 a month. Well, I don't have a a 200-month term.
Right.
So if you just divide it up by 60 months, you can
Right,
kind of get an idea where you're at.
Right.
So,
And Subaru
then,
has good financing, right?
Oh,
Like,
great
better than the
financing.
bank, I think.
yeah, well, Subaru is like any manufacturer where they're liquid, okay? So they have subvented rates, which means they don't borrow from a bank to loan their money. So we have 0%, we have 0.9, we have 1.9, and the leases right now in Subarus are off the chart because they hold their value so well on the back end. Your lease, what you pay at the front end, you got $150, $200 payment on a $25,000 car.
Right.
And people say, oh no, I would never lease. Most car guys lease their cars because at the end of the term you can buy it out and there's nothing additional.
Right.
So you leased it with a really low money factor, low interest rate, if you will. You buy out your car at the end for the residual, then you put that into financing, makes a really low monthly payment with a really nice car. You buy it new, you've serviced it, you haven't hit it, you haven't hurt it, so it's not like buying a used car, you're buying your own car, and then you put it into a term that makes sense.
Go see Jeff.
Yeah.
Go see Jeff at Michael Holt Subaru. You're down there today?
I'm not.
And,
Today
and you're a Tahoe guy.
I am.
So if you live in Tahoe, come down and see Jeff. He gets it.
I'll take care of you for sure, but I'm going skiing today, Tom.
I hope so,
I
man.
know.
Good. Well, we'll talk about. I'll tell you where to go.
Okay.
We'll take a break and look at the forecast when we come back.